right, as always, that was good friend of the show, Colin Gow, with his officially licensed theme song podcast. I am Steve Schoeny. I'm the city manager for the city of Upper Arlington. I am here with my co-host,
Darren Shulman. I'm the city attorney.
So
it does catch me a little bit like off guard every time you say
sidekick.
Or co-host, because I'm waiting for the sidekick.
You're waiting for, well, actually you do. I think it's like a annual renewal thing that you have to do where you have to book another guest. So you you booked one guest this year, which is your first guest ever. That's how you moved up to co-host from.
So the pressure's back on.
Sidekick.
I've been coasting.
So you have another, like you've got 2 months to kind of get it together, brother. And
all right.
We are in annual review season.
We are in annual review season, actually.
So should we
it's like your mileage status is going to expire.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to book some random flights just so I can keep my status up.
Yeah. This might not be the week to do that because we're recording this the week in the middle where they just have announced they're going to be cutting flights for folks. Anyway, my wife is headed to a conference and we were just having that discussion this morning. So anyway, enough mindless banter. Let's move on to more mindless banter and introduce our guest for the day. Our guest is Cathy Strauss. Cathy, I have known through a couple of different iterations. We were briefly colleagues.
Yes.
And our kids have played sports together. And her husband actually was, I've worked with her husband. He was the one who got us to get with Jenny Britton Britton when we had her on the podcast because John used to work for Jenny's, so he was the connect.
Oh.
So that's how you actually get a guest is you work your connections.
Genius. So you're already valuable and we haven't even started this podcast.
And she was the campaign committee chair when we did the ballot initiative campaign for the Bob Crane Community Center, which is where we are doing the podcast today. So
Full
Cathy,
circle.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So as you know, you said you've listened to a couple of podcasts.
Yes.
So as you know, we start every podcast with a little thing called Start, Bench, Cut.
I'm ready.
And we don't need to explain this to you. I know sports is not an unfamiliar thing to you in your household.
Indeed.
So Darren's going to give...
You're going to go first.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, because I don't know what it is, so it'll be a little bit more organic.
So...
we prepped one, and then he just went off script and
we
made his own.
quote-unquote prepped one. It was
over text last night.
Oh, crap, we have a podcast tomorrow. So the first one is basketball, soccer, musical theater.
Oh.
Now, hold on. I need a little bit more explanation for the fans and the guests. So is it what she can watch, what she can do, or does it even exist?
I'm just going to lay those three out there. The backstory on this is these are the three things that her three boys have been into and have been kind of the things they've done through school and are their
So you're leaving it open-ended on purpose.
I'm leaving it open-ended on purpose.
Okay,
I'm going to do a very non-mom thing and answer on my personal choice.
Okay.
No,
not about the kids, and because then there's arguments as I always knew I was the favorite.
They're not going to listen.
No, they're not going to listen.
But if they complain, we know we got one,
actually,
2, or 3.
Actually, if you told Jack that you did this with me, Jack might actually listen.
Yeah, I actually think all three will listen because Dad's been prepping them.
Okay.
Okay, so if I had to choose, I would definitely start musical theater.
Okay.
And then I would, so then the next two are hard for me. I guess I would bench soccer and basketball.
It's been really nice having you on the podcast.
Straight up cut. Before you get into, the schism with Steve, why did you start musical theater? You mentioned it was your own preference. Is it what you like to watch?
Yeah, I love musical theater. I love it. I love music. And so that's just an extension of a different way to listen to music in my mind. But you layer in all the talent around the dance and the performance and the acting and the quality and caliber of costumes and makeup and set and all of that. I just think it's an extraordinary feat to be able to watch a really well-run musical.
Do you have a favorite?
I have a lot of different favorites. Hamilton is probably my favorite. It's just so unique, and it was so one of a kind when it came on. I mean, I guess it's not technically true because there was Into the Heights, who was also Lin-Manuel Miranda. But it was just so unique and different for the time, and I love rap music. So it was kind of the perfect thing. But my niece has always done musical theater. She loves Phantom of the Opera. I mean, she and I went to see the last Phantom of the Opera show performed in New York. And so I have a soft spot for that because she loves that. I don't know that I would independently choose it. But I love sports too. I mean, and
except
I
basketball apparently.
But I do love basketball.
So
I just would
now we need to
rather
get into
watch the Crew and MLS than the NBA. But I would rather watch college basketball than any other soccer. So it's tough.
Okay.
I mean, you did say it was tough, but I'm going to play basketball after this, and now I can't because she cut it.
She actually knew that on the way up here. She was like,
I did. That was in one of the ones I listened to.
Yeah, so she's basically like, I can't do that anymore. She cut it.
Yeah,
I have to go pick up a soccer ball or something. It's on the bench. I can do that like on the weekend or something. So,
all right.
Well,
so
a good lead into mine.
That was a great lead into yours.
So you mentioned you like rap music, and I was struck by that in your pre-screening review. And I was also struck by one of your favorite artists being Eminem.
Yes.
Because he is one of mine.
Oh, right, Darren.
Yes. So
I love that.
I would like to trade lyrics with you, but I was trying to go through the lines, and most of them are not podcast
And by the way,
friendly.
I forgot about this when you suggested him. She is originally from as close to Detroit as you can get in Ohio.
Yes.
In Toledo.
I was born in Detroit area.
Were you?
Yeah, but I don't know if that gives me any Eminem cred.
It doesn't.
But this is how you can earn your
8
Eminem
Mile.
cred. 8 Mile, yeah. So here's 3 songs.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Now,
Let's do it.
This is a legit start bench cut. Like, one of them you're listening to basically every day. One of them you can listen to, like, on the weekend. And one of them no longer exists. You cannot listen to this song anymore.
Okay.
Lose Yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Stan, and Without Me.
Oh, I don't know Without Me.
Yeah, you do.
Rap it.
Because it feels so
Empty without me.
Oh, thank you. Okay. All right.
Did that help enough?
I just, I just heard that on the radio yesterday.
I could spit more bars, but again, she'd have to edit
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am starting Lose Yourself.
That's a good choice.
And Stan's the one about driving off the. I mean, it's a good song. So I'm gonna say.
Stan's the most lyrical.
It tells a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bench stand, and Without Me would be my
You're cutting it.
cut. Yeah,
That's a tough one.
But
Without Me,
you did sing it. I really like that.
Without
now
Me
I
is-
wish I had asked you to sing all of them.
Here's the problem with Without Me. It is like one of the best bangers. Like, you can actually dance to that one.
Yeah.
Like, Stan's just kind of like, you got to listen to it, right?
So I have a good story about dancing to Lose Yourself. So way back in the day, I was in Childhood League, and do you guys know what Childhood League is?
I do not.
No.
It's a fundraising group that still exists. The Childhood League Center is a preschool for special needs kids. It used to be near Children's Hospital, and now it's on the Fort Hays campus. And they have, for decades and decades, maybe since the 40s or 50s, have had a group of volunteers that have both volunteered at the center to help with the children, but then also their fundraiser is to do a variety dance, singing, musical show every year. And it was like classes, so you did this for 6 years. So some of my best friends, including many in UA, were in Childhood League with me. And one of the dances we did in our class was to Lose Yourself. So I actually danced to Lose Yourself in front of other humans.
Here is your luck. You lucked out, because Steve and I were walking down the hallway yesterday in the office, and Andres, our former sub-producer, had all this camera equipment, and he said he is planning on doing this as a video and audio. And if that was in place right now, you would be doing this dance under penalty of
but here's
booking.
No. We're not ever going to do something like that, because you know what then happens.
What?
Is you and I feel the pressure to participate.
Absolutely.
And that,
that idea's been quashed.
Yeah, no.
This is why we're a good team.
We're again, as typical, I am the one pulling our city attorney back from the brink of a high risk situation.
Yeah,
which is actually, the podcast is almost the only place in which that happens.
But think about it. You could take the video on the road, so you could also do one during your basketball game.
Yeah.
And
that's just
bring in
what we don't
community
need.
members during the basketball game, during pickleball. Steve, on the way up, you said you've been playing a lot of pickleball.
Yeah. So I should say I am not afraid of a well done.
Not afraid is another video. Eminem song, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Every phrase.
I'm not afraid. Sorry.
This is good.
Yeah.
Bravo.
We're gonna work as many as we can.
This is gonna be a problem through this whole entire episode. No, I'm like we did. I'm a fan of the good promotional funny video. I'm looking at producer Maggie because when we were building the community center, we had a lot of fun doing Steve's going to do everything in the community center while it's still under construction, and they had me going down the little tyke slide, and that video was quite fun. So I'm not afraid of just about anything except for me and dance. That's probably the point at which it gets.
That would probably be bad, but I'm impressed that you were able to dance to that song in particular.
Yeah, no, it's
a good psych up song, but it's you don't.
Yeah.
What kind of dance was it? Like a line dance?
No, I mean there were many of us, so we were all in sync. With the
different group,
theme, right? Different group, but it wasn't like a line dance. It was like what you would see in a video.
Oh,
I mean, but we're all doing the same thing. But it's uncomplicated. I mean, all of these people are volunteers, some of whom are more inclined to music or singing or dance, and so some are a little bit more skilled than me. But it wasn't complicated. But it was choreographed by real dancers.
I'm impressed. Now, I picked 3 songs to try to pick different kinds of Eminem songs, but I didn't really give you the opportunity. Do you have a favorite?
Lose Yourself is actually my favorite.
Okay. See,
well
my favorite is the Way I Am, but that's like I'm kind of in a bad mood, angry song. Like you wouldn't dance to that. It's just
So if we walk in and you're playing.
Oh yeah.
You should walk out.
Steve knows the situations when I play that song. He can tell.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Cathy's a labor lawyer. So that's a great transition. So your day job is you are the managing partner for the Columbus office of Ice Miller. Do I have that right?
That's right.
Okay, good. What does that mean?
So in tongue-in-cheek, what I like to say is I'm the chief cat herder. Mm-hmm. And so I attended a conference recently and I've always said that I'm the chief cat herder, but I attended a conference with other law firm leaders in this city recently, and the speaker was somebody from the Harvard Executive Business Group.
Oh, Steve knows them well.
No, not the business school, just the Kennedy School folks, but that's okay.
I was trying to head off Steve's name dropping there. So.
I saw his look. I was like, where are we going with this?
And Darren is a graduate of Harvard Law, so he
I don't need to talk about that.
He tries to hide it. I don't try and hide my 3 weeks at Harvard.
Steve went to, what was the program called? I'll let you flex on it.
It was the State and Local Government Leaders Program with the Harvard Kennedy School.
He likes to flex.
Oh wow!
So you mentioned Harvard,
attended a 2-hour conference. So I'm the one that's cut.
Steve, you can still ride with Steve. It's fine.
Well, anyway, I've always said I'm the chief cat herder, and he had the best slide on this, and he was like, these kinds of cats, and they were 2 tigers. And that's, kind of what I do is keep everybody happy and in line. Do recruiting, strategy around office growth, how to help brand our office, be known in the community, get people on the right boards in the right places, and everybody rowing in the same direction and generally being happy.
So I worked for 3 years at Ice Miller. I'm not a lawyer, but I was within their consulting practice for all of our audience members. And
is this when you overlapped with each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was waiting for that.
And I have a theory on the management of law firms. And my theory is that law firms are basically just like academic departments at a university.
Tell me more.
So you would be the dean of the college. Your equity partners are the full professors.
Tenured. Yes.
That's your equity. There's 3, and as you know, my wife's a professor. So you've got the equity partners. Then you've got your folks who've made partner but aren't yet equity partners. Those are your associate professors. So they've got tenure, but they're not full professor. And then you've got your tenure track folks, which are folks who are on the partner track, and you have your adjunct faculty, which are your of counsel folks. And those folks can all leave whenever they want to leave. Mm-hmm. They take their research dollars, they take their book of business with them, and they feel like, in some ways they run the place, and your challenge of managing them is similar. And I know, so that's having watched what Holly was going through and then having watched the law firm. I think they're the exact same. It's the exact same thing.
Should
it's
we
the
call
exact
this
same management problem.
The Schoeny doctrine?
Yes, I like it. I actually think there's a lot to that. And I've done some litigation involving universities, and so know kind of how that works. And that really makes a lot of sense. One thing that I always say, you reference that professors can take their research, they can just pick up and go. I mean, and I think of each of our lawyers as little assembly lines. I've said this a number of times, so nobody's going to be offended, at least internally at Ice Miller. Because we're all our own little business units. And so it's really trying to maximize and inspire each individual person to do their best, be their best, while also make sure everybody's getting along well together. And there's governance things similar to a university. So we have partner meetings, there are faculty meetings. You can vote on things as a partnership, you can vote on things as in the faculty governance meetings. That's a really good analogy.
Holly, they just had their promotion and tenure meeting earlier this week, and it was, just like a law firm. So
this is more reaffirming to Steve than the time he tried to make a drink for
Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to make a drink for Cameron Mitchell, and I forgot the key ingredient. That was not.
So this is working. Like you validated Steve.
Yeah. What was the ingredient? I'm curious.
It was supposed to have blood orange in it, and I forgot the blood oranges.
Oh.
Oops.
Challenge. Yeah.
That was not my best.
So when you're like in a management role with the firm, do you scale back your practice, or do you still have a full practice? I made it to the associate level. And then I was out. So
in our model, I still have a full practice. So it's like I have two jobs.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just more work, right?
Yeah, it's more work, but a lot of it is complementary. I mean, what we want our partners doing and we want our junior people doing and learning, but they do less of it until you're a partner, is to be out in the community, to do things, to make connections, build relationships. And people can do that a lot of different ways. I've chosen to do it through a lot of my charitable work that I do, like my volunteer time. We have partners who do it through playing golf and whatever. I mean, you're building connections. So a lot of what I do as our managing partner is complementary to that. But it really is two separate things, and I still have a full practice. So I still do a lot of labor and employment lawyering.
Is that sort of a do it till you don't want to do it position, or is it like you have a term and then you step back and you're just a regular partner again?
We have a term. My term is up in December. And it's a little bit of, if you're doing a good job and you want to keep doing it, you can keep doing it. We'll see what's going to happen with me. I was actually elected to our board of directors in January, so I've also had a third position for a year. So for this past year, I've had 3 jobs.
You're like the most devoted Ice Miller person ever.
I'm very loyal. I love Ice Miller. I love our people. And I'm really fortunate because I love being a lawyer. I hope that you do too, Darren. I mean, I know that probably like me, you meet a ton of lawyers.
Yeah.
Some people aren't very happy being a lawyer. I really, truly love it. So I also love to be our leader. I fully believe in Ice Miller. I believe in our people. I think I'm the right person at the right time to kind of keep us all rowing in the right direction. And then being on the board really helps to elevate. So instead of just focused on the office, I'm really focused on the firm. The board is tasked with budget, strategy, and partner comp.
How big is the total? How big is the Columbus office, and how big is the total firm at this point? We
have, if you assess it by number of lawyers, we have about 375 lawyers across the platform, and we have 75 in Columbus. Okay. We're our second biggest office.
After Indy?
After Indy.
Yeah.
So this is a very serious question, and if you don't know the answer, I'm okay with it, but your firm might not. Law firms typically are named after like the partners who like started it. So was there someone named Ice?
Yes.
Because that's like the coolest name ever. Like,
totally.
I'm John Ice. Does he have like Oakleys and 80s blazer or something? Like, who's
totally
who's
color pops?
Yeah, doesn't it like I'm Ice? Like, do we know who this
Pack of
person?
cigarettes in his pocket.
Yeah, see, we have the same vision of this, whoever this poor person is.
So, ICE was a lawyer from our Indianapolis firm that our firm in Columbus merged with. So I don't know this ICE person, but he was from a long, long time ago, like the 20s.
So he wasn't wearing the 80s Oakley shades. And
He was not, no.
But he probably had like a bowler hat, maybe.
I think maybe that's possible. Definitely. Pinstripe suit.
Because I've never met someone named Ice. That's like a cool last name.
It is a cool name. So
no pun intended.
For a while, we did a play on Ice on Fire, from a branding perspective. People loved it or hated it, but it's been gone for a while. I kind of think
remember those. That
cute.
Was soon after I left. I remember. Yeah.
So we were a different firm in Columbus. We were Schottenstein, Sachs and Dunn, and we merged with Ice Miller, and more than 10 years ago now. And it's been great.
Well, Ice descendants, if you're out there listening, I'd love to know more about John Ice. I just made that
Darren
up.
Ice. I mean, you could change your name.
Oh, I could have been. Hey, I'm Darren Ice of the Ice Miller legacy or whatever. No one would know.
Well, then that just takes me back to rap music. Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
So that's the only other Ice I know.
Maybe that's who started the firm. Do you have concrete proof that it is not based on Vanilla Ice?
I don't.
No, it's
a better story than it is.
It would. I mean, he's got a cool last name to begin with. I mean, he's got a cool
Van Winkle. Right?
Van Winkle.
Oh, Vanilla Ice is Van.
Robbie Van Winkle.
Which is kind of different than. Would you be willing to do a marketing campaign that's like Ice Miller? Not your regular vanilla law firm. Just see if people notice it.
I'll inquire. I'll inquire this afternoon.
Just workshop that. I won't charge any royalties on that.
The marketing department will never ever let you talk to us again.
I like it.
One other question about managing the firm: how difficult is Michael Coleman to manage?
Oh man, Michael is not difficult to manage.
Oh, I don't believe that.
He's a gem. He continues to be a gem. He's in all seriousness, he is such a great team player, and he has been such a great addition when he returned after his tenure as mayor ended. He helps everybody. He has so many connections that helps our clients do the things that they need to get done. He knows everybody. I mean, he knows our receptionist to the person who, cleans every day. Her name's Carmen. She's been at our firm and all of our floors for a long, long time. He comes to all the things. He's really easy. He is a model partner, and I mean that most sincerely.
That was disappointing.
I know.
I was hoping you had something bad to say about him. So
I'm sure I can think of something bad. I mean, sometimes he even dresses nice.
He does.
His dress is so on point.
I mean, he is. He won't listen to this, so he won't ever know. He is a stylish man. I give him credit.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be caught dead in red cardigan sweater.
Probably not, or anywhere near this podcast.
He might if Janelle told him. He's also very dutiful.
Yep.
And he'll tell you he's very dutiful to Janelle, and she has amazing, impeccable style.
Yes. I have considered, at some point we'll see if I can get Coleman on the podcast, because one of the jokes I made when Coleman went he was at Schottenstein's Ox and Dunn, and then it was kind of a trip back. Because I left Ice Miller to go to the city, and when Coleman made the switch back, I said, well, when I left, there was a side deal that it was kind of like a trade in sports where it was, Schoony's going over there for a player to be named later, depending on performance. And I just did so well at the city that they got Coleman back. So, but he was a great mentor to me and taught me a lot of stuff when I was at the city of Columbus, because I worked for him for, I think, 3 years, his last 3 years, and he was great.
Yeah, so see, that makes me even more inclined to speak highly of him, because you learned so much from him in the city and brought that to UA, and you guys are doing such a great job in UA. So I'm going to give Coleman a little bit of props for that too.
Well, don't give any props to Steve, though.
No,
we need to keep him humble.
It all goes to Coleman.
Steve is paying attention.
We need to keep him humble. His head can't get too big for the headphones here.
So you want me to be humble?
You're going to go Kendra again.
I was going to say
that's a different person, but that's still pretty good.
That's a little more modern. No, I think what I learned from Coleman was the importance of being brutally honest with folks, and you're not being nice to someone by not telling them the real situation when you're out doing community outreach. So, I talk a lot internally about we need to be shockingly transparent. And that Coleman never used that phrase, but that was how he was out in the community. He's like, if the answer is no, tell people no. Mm-hmm. Don't tell them, well, maybe we might someday, possibly. If the answer is no, tell them no. And that has stuck with me. It's been good. It was good advice.
So can we pivot a little bit to the kind of cool stuff you've been doing in the community? Because
sure.
I don't want to talk about Steve being cool anymore. It's making me uncomfortable.
For sure.
I'm just kidding, Steve. You're great.
You are great, Steve. As are you, Darren.
Yeah. No, now I'm really liking this episode. Yeah. Talked about the stuff you're doing. You were chair. What was it, Steve? What was the title?
What did we? You chaired the campaign committee for the community center ballot initiative.
Boom. Okay.
Yes.
So how'd you get involved in that? And that seems like a lot more work than what even you got a lot going on already.
Yeah, I was thinking about some of the cool things that I've got to do over the past several years, and that definitely is the top of my list. And I would say Steve was instrumental because I had known Steve, and he introduced me to Kip Greenhill and others in the community at the time who were really getting behind this idea of a community center. Because at the time that I got involved, there had already been the task force that Margie Pizzuti and Nick Lashutka were leading to kind of get input. So Steve really was a connector and connected me with that group of individuals. And I said yes, and I am not a political person. I mean, I definitely have my own political beliefs, but I've never been a candidate or really gotten involved in, door knocking even until that point. And it was just a labor of love. I mean, and now that we're sitting here in the community center recording, that's so cool. As I walked in this morning, there's so many people walking in. I mean, it's an easy thing in my mind at the time to get behind because the city and the developer and all of the backers in the community that were behind it and really pushing it forward at the time had a good plan. So not only is it something that I believed in, but it was practical and reasonable, and it was going to be affordable, and there was a plan as to how it was going to be created. So it was really easy for me. I mean, the way I thought of it is I was the chief cheerleader. And all I had to do was go rally up everybody else to get excited about the things that were pretty evident to me. So it was really fun. And I still think we have the record, or at least I'm claiming it. And Carl Backus was the co-chair. And he and I attended an event together recently, and we were both high-fiving every time we see each other. We're like, we are still the top vote getter in the city of UA.
Yeah, so this was your problem while you're not a politician. You should have said this was an uphill climb. Everywhere we went, we had opposition, but we persevered as chairs and got it over to this record break. And you're like, oh, it was easy.
You're absolutely right. I didn't play that
it was so hard,
role.
But we really showed. Yeah, but you did a great job. I think it is the record, isn't it, Steve?
I'm going to say yes.
We have no proof otherwise.
I cannot disprove that today.
I mean, it was like 80%. This is the other thing. Carl and I were like, every time we talk, the number raises.
Yeah. No, it was like 92%.
No, right. it stuck in my head. It was 5 votes short of 80%. And those 5 votes
don't ruin a good story with facts.
Will forever stick in my craw. It's like,
yeah.
And you've picked 5 people and blamed, you know who they are.
I know.
And blame them, yeah.
I know who they are.
Yeah.
Well, and that was a very cool vote. So I don't know how much you were involved in this, but council was really big on the transparency thing that Steve talked about and really making sure the community was behind this. We didn't need to go to the ballot for that. And we had to figure out a way with the Board of Elections, like, can we do basically a poll? It was called something else, but they don't like to do that. But we had to figure out a way.
It was called an advisory.
Yeah, something like advisory preference or something.
An advisory issue or something like that.
Yeah, some sort of thing where we had to figure out a way to do it. But that was, again, because council was committed to, we want the community to be behind us before we take this big step. Yeah. So it was cool to work on that part of it. You talked earlier about liking your job. I loved my job. Finding out a way to put that question on the ballot was like a weird puzzle to figure out. And then the vote made it worth it. So
yeah, and we can't talk about that campaign without mentioning Natalie Bowe, who has since moved down to Florida with her family.
Yes,
begrudgingly, but
she
was fantastic in that whole process. I mean, she was the organizing master in that whole thing. She was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely, because you think about, for people who have been involved in a campaign and those who have not, there's so much work that goes into it. And she was really the master puppeteer. I mean, she had spreadsheet after spreadsheet because you need to have a website. You need to have a way to connect the website to users. You need to be able to monitor and track your social media and who's signing up to be a volunteer, who's going to be a door knocker on what days, and what's the meeting point, and what collateral do you need to be able to hand out and distribute, and who has the signs and how many signs, and who's delivering what signs to whom. I mean, I could go on and on. I learned so much, and she was the one who did all of that.
Yeah.
I didn't do all of that. Carl didn't do all of that. She did all of that.
Well, what you guys did was people who said, oh, yeah, I'll help. You followed up and were like, so you said you were going to help.
Yes. And
I was just saying that. I didn't think you were going to call back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were going to donate funds for us to buy all these yard signs.
Yes, exactly. So by help, you meant here's the who you make the check out to. Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I think so many people played small roles, and a lot of people played big roles, in that it was so well planned that there wasn't really an opposition.
Yeah.
There was no organized opposition to it, because at that juncture, we had gone through a couple of setbacks over a period of decades in trying to get a community center forward. And I didn't even live here during those times. But the several years leading up to this specific effort, I mean, everyone was aligned and working towards, what do we need to make this reasonable, practical, affordable, and an easy yes. So it was just lined up that there wasn't even opposition at that time.
There were a couple of individuals who had,
but there wasn't like a
spin on the
$1 million anti-campaign.
For sure, there were people opposed. I don't want to overstate it, but right, there wasn't a paid no campaign with signs, and there
was not enough. There wasn't anything clear that somebody could organize an opposition around. And it's we're doing this after we're recording this the Friday after our municipal election here, and I think one of the things that, as I look at the results, it's like, and I watch how the campaign ran. It was an interesting campaign because there's not anything that more than 5% of people are really, really mad about. And that was one of those campaigns where it was like there was nothing that more than a handful of people were going to get really, really mad about. And I think that was one of the reasons that campaign was successful. And then that has played through to the reason the things that we did to make sure that folks weren't mad about the campaign played into things that people really like about the building.
Yep, totally. Well, and to the point about this most recent election, and I was thinking about one of the questions you guys had asked me to prepare in advance, like what I would like to change. I really think we are living in a golden period for Upper Arlington. And I do think that is credited in large part to the two of you and your current teams and current council and school board and school leadership, and the list goes on, but we have new schools. There might be future new schools, and I know that's coming. We have a brand new community center. We have all of this new development. There's so much more walkability here now than there was when I moved here in 2010. I mean, I can walk to 3 grocery stores from my house.
So you and John did not grow up here.
No.
How'd you end up in UA?
So, and neither of us grew up in Columbus.
Right.
So
where did John grow up?
Chicago.
Okay, that's right. I forgot.
So I went to Ohio State undergrad. I left and went to George Washington for law school. I got connected with my predecessor firm, Schonstein, Zacks & Dunn, and worked there my first and second year summer. And I worked in Chicago for my second year summer, too. I ultimately came back to Columbus to work as a working lawyer. John went to Illinois undergrad, came to Ohio State for law school. He was a couple years ahead of me, and he was working at Kegler Brown law firm here in Columbus. And we met. He was a couple years ahead of me. I was a new lawyer working in the city, and so we both met here working as young professionals. And
when you were here, were you here or were you somewhere else in the Columbus area?
So at the time when I first moved here, I was in Bexley.
Okay.
I lived with my college roommate, and she was renting a house in Bexley, and John lived in the Short North. And then when John and I got together, we lived in the Short North, and then our first house was in Clintonville.
Didn't he work for GE down in Cincinnati for a minute?
Yeah, so, and I was thinking about this, I think, Steve, when you were at Schonstein, Zacks & Dunn / Ice Miller, I, at that time, started remote work before remote work during COVID, because my husband moved to GE in Cincinnati. We moved to Cincinnati, and I would drive to Columbus 2 days a week and work from my house 3 days a week. This was in 2005.
Right. You were like a trendsetter.
Yeah. And I was just lucky because my firm said, yeah, we want to keep you. I mean, it's a testament to being open-minded about talent. That's easier said than done sometimes when you kind of get set in your ways and you have to be open to change. But they were like, yeah, you come when you need to come. At the time, I was doing a lot of litigation around the state, so a lot of days I was just on the road to other places anyway. And then I worked from home. And we did that for like 18 months. And then I moved to Florida and I went in-house because as a lawyer, you can't waive into Florida. You have to be licensed. So I couldn't stay with my firm, or I would have. And I went in-house, but our house at the time, we were in Clintonville. So ultimately, long story short, we had 6 houses in 5 years. We were moving a ton. And then John became the CEO of Jenny's. And he was like, and we will never have to move again. So
then you decided to do a renovation on your house, which is
yeah. Well, we were like, all right, we're going to Upper Arlington because we had always coveted Upper Arlington when we were living in Short North in Clintonville before we had kids. Okay. We were like, that's the place we're going. We're going to Upper Arlington. And then we moved away before we really had a chance to do that. So when we moved back, we're like, yeah, it's Upper Arlington for sure.
So when was that you moved back?
We bought the house in 2009. And
okay.
We moved back in 2010.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. And my kids have only gone to these schools. Ironically, through all of those moves, I have 3 boys. They were all born at Riverside. Huh. One of them is a long story, but we came from Cincinnati to Riverside. So they were all born at Riverside, and all of them have gone through the UA school since kindergarten. So it's worked out. We did all the moves when they were younger, and we looked all throughout Arlington when we were looking and really got a good flavor. I think we have so many micro neighborhoods in Arlington. Yeah. And bought a house by a park, which was really the thing that drove our selection.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. And then, so you're a very active and very active and participatory parent. How does how do you bring that perspective into how you manage the firm and how you coach and mentor, in particular, your younger associates and partners?
It's so funny because I have not actually thought about what I do like parenting, but as you were talking, I was like, oh, it's a lot like parenting. It's a lot of...
It's Schoeny doctrine, too.
Right, totally. It's a lot of lifting up and giving trust to decision-making and letting people make mistakes, but supporting them through the mistakes and helping coach along. I mean, because it's, being a lawyer at a law firm is no easy task. I mean, you need to learn to be a good lawyer. That's hard in itself. I mean, Darren, there's always something new to learn, the substantive area of law. But then you have to learn how to build connections and relationships, and they don't teach any of that in law school. You need to understand how a law firm works. And so there's a lot of ways to make errors. But you really just have to lift them up, have trust in their decision making, and know that we're all partners and colleagues for the long haul, and we're going to all make mistakes. And which is similar to parenting, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never thought about it that way. I like that, though.
Steve, you should write a book or something
with
all these theories.
That's right. The Schoeny Doctrine 1, Schoeny Doctrine 2.
I mean, we got 2 chapters already. But
yeah.
Might need to come up with some more.
And there's all those colorful doctrines that we have when we get back to the office when we're not recording.
So I worked at a law firm for a very short period of time after law school, and I always had this vision if you just get to be partner, you're like the boss and you can do nothing, and then all the associates do all the work. And then I got to the firm and I realized the partners are working just as hard as maybe harder than the associates are. So I don't know if that's the experience.
That's when he
for
pulled
you.
the ripcord?
Totally.
I was like, wait a minute. I always wanted to do government, so it just wasn't a great fit. But I did notice that they were not out golfing all the time. In fact, I don't think they ever did golf because they just didn't have time. Is that kind of the way it is in Columbus? This was in D.C., so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, totally. What I was saying about weaving in some of the things I need to do anyway, the relationship building, like getting out and being present in the community, whether it's golfing or being a volunteer. For sure, you still have to do that. But yeah, it just gets harder and there's more expectations. But it's also different. So going back to the parenting analogy, it feels really hard when you're parenting a baby and a toddler and you're just keeping them alive. And you're like, oh, it's going to be so much better when they can walk. when they can drive, when they can cook their own food. And then you just realize you're evolving at time with them, which is like what you're doing from an associate to a partner to an equity partner. Like you're just evolving it. It's getting harder, but you're getting more used to it, and it's just shifting work.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's not like I'm no longer like scared I'm going to lose my job. Like as an associate at times, it's like, oh my God, am I going to get fired? Did I just screw that up so bad? Or like I'm going to not feed my baby, or, never sleep again, or whatever it is. So the stress changes, but it's still there. And it's still a lot of work.
I don't know if I ever told you this really funny law firm associate story. I was a first-year associate, and the partner said, hey, get those boxes, bundle them up, and send them to opposing counsel. So I got the boxes. I had a paralegal bundle them up. I shipped them over there, and then he came back the next day and said, hey, where are all those boxes? And I said, I shipped them up to the opposing counsel. He's like, no, you were supposed to make copies. We don't have the copies of our records anymore. And I was like, dude, you didn't tell me that. So like, I, for months, was just waiting, hoping this case would settle, because if we went to trial, like, we didn't have any of our actual records. So it eventually did. But that was I was afraid I was totally going to get fired.
Yeah,
story.
I mean, that's nerve-wracking, right?
I didn't know. He said, ship them over there. I did.
Yeah, right. I did it. And then, like, that's the kind of thing that I would, like, not sleep over for days. I don't lose sleep anymore.
See, here's and Maggie, Maggie's a relatively new parent. And
5 months old today.
No.
Oh,
Today? So one of the things I always say to new parents is like, listen, don't stress about it, because no matter what you do, it will not screw them up nearly as much as the things you're going to say to them when they're in middle school. I don't know if that applies to like the whole coaching law says it, but you could say this, hey, don't worry. It's not nearly as bad as what you're going to do when you're a partner. Yeah,
or what you're going to hear from opposing counsel.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the hardest things we deal with are the external forces, really rigorous client demands, or opposing counsel that are making things more difficult than they need to be. That can be really much more hard than internally what we're dealing with.
So what's more stressful to you, and maybe you don't want to answer this, but
I'll
you can
answer.
Get all the identifiers out. What's harder for you to deal with, clients who are kind of challenging, or opposing counsel who are challenging? Because I kind of deal with both in my role as well. Challenging Steve.
Whoa. Challenging clients, that would be me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to answer that's good for both of you. Opposing counsel. Okay. Easy, hands down. I mean, clients I can understand and appreciate. Typically clients are dealing with deadlines, their own pressures. They're trying to impress somebody or get a deal done or have financial incentives, whatever it is. Like, there's reasons for it. Opposing counsel, typically the reason is only, I want to punch you in the nose for no reason. I want to get the better of you for no reason. I want to play games and make you have to do something on a Friday night because just for the sake of it. It's like, and that's not the way I practice. I try to treat everybody with respect, and I try to not engage in gamesmanship. And you can be really aggressive without being engaged in gamesmanship. But when you get that opposing counsel who's just like playing games, or maybe they're not getting clarity from their client, maybe it's not even intentional. That's much harder to deal with for me.
I always tell young lawyers, like, it's not like on TV. You don't have to like pound table and yell at people. Like, that's not really how you get along in the legal world, because you get more when you can actually work with someone and negotiate, because you can come up with better solutions, and you can actually, in good faith, come to a resolution, as opposed to just trying to grind them down, and then you have to fight back, right? So that's my perspective on it anyway.
No, I totally agree. I mean, so often what I'm trying to do is talk to opposing counsel to say, what is your client really trying to achieve? Like, I'm not asking you to disclose anything you're not able to disclose to me, but like, if we're just talking, like, what is it your client's trying to achieve? And I'll try to explain to you the best I can what I think is driving my client within, bounds of privilege and all of that. And often that's where you're going to get to a solution. It's like, well, okay, they really want that. I know there's no way we can do that, but what if we tweak it and offer this? And a lot of times the best negotiations really are those discussions where the lawyers are flushing out what's possible and what will never happen.
Yeah.
Because that's also helpful to take to our clients and be like, they're never going to give on this, or it's going to cost you for them to give on this. And it just opens up other doors of possibility. I totally agree with that.
Well, listen, we have taken a lot of your time. And
we're not going to get a bill for it, are we?
Absolutely not, no.
That's my first lawyer joke, sorry.
I've gone through this whole thing with you two without making a single negative comment about lawyers. That's amazing. That's a record
I think
for
that's
me.
great. That
just means you love your lawyers and
Yeah.
the lawyers in your life.
I do really appreciate these two lawyers that are sitting here with us. I genuinely do appreciate both of you, especially Cathy. And so we did give you 2 prep questions,
Yes.
and you alluded to one of them, but we always finish every episode with these 2 questions. What do you love about UA, and what would you change?
So what I love about UA, and I've always loved this, and it continues to be so, even more so now that I've lived here for a long time, is the multi-generation, consistent community. So what I mean is that, this is not a community where it's all young families who are just here looking for the schools. There are people who have lived here for decades, for generations. They continue to live here. They bring their families. My in-laws moved nearby after we moved here. I love that. I don't want to be at a place that's just full of young families because we have great schools, and we do. I also don't want to be in a place that's full of retirees, or kind of more like a urban neighborhood like German Village or Short North, where it's more household without children. So I love kind of the multi-generation of our community, and that I can go walk my dog and see every type of person, age of person, doing every other, every kind of activity you could think of. I think that really is a great way for us to think about the diversity that our community currently offers. It's really fabulous.
Well, putting it back to your contributions, you can see that in this building, like just the different generations and all the different activities people are doing. I mean, it's really cool. It's more than just like a gym or
Totally.
a meeting space.
It is a community center in every true sense of the word, where it's just people coming and using the space, doing the things that they need to do. I love that, and we see a great cross-section of the community here. So I love that about our community. I've really struggled with the change question. The other question was, what would I change? And there's really nothing. I did think of something after I sent it, but so I want to say my real thing, and then I'll add that one in, because I know it's not actually fixable, but I'll just.
Oh, I love those.
Although there is potentially something for the other one, but go ahead.
Okay, so what I would say, rather than answer the questions what I would change, I would say, what would I amplify? Because I think we are in the golden period of Upper Arlington. What I would amplify is I think we need community theater. So we take it back to the beginning of our podcast, and I have my youngest son, Luke, is a freshman in high school. He's done a lot of musical theater, and we're constantly looking at what neighboring communities are offering, and they typically do. Many of them have 3 or 4 different shows a year. Worthington, Pickerington, Westerville, Dublin. I mean, there's a lot of them that offer these different shows, in addition to like Columbus Children's Theater or whatever. But there's a lot of communities that have community theater, and it's both for children and adults, and it just depends. Some's musical, some is just straight acting drama for adults, for seniors. And we also have this fabulous performing arts center at the high school that's not always used, but is often used. I understand that is very busy and used a lot, but it's gorgeous and it seats a lot of people. And we have a fabulous senior community that's really collected and easy to get to, generally because of the senior center and all the activities that we offer. And they love going to the preview shows, like for the high school.
They
love it.
And Mom go to that every year now.
Yeah, my neighbor lives now. My neighbor, my friend Elpie, her mom lives there. Yaya. She's a great grandma, and so we just all call her Yaya. And she looks forward to it every year, of going to that Wednesday or Thursday show to see the community theater. So I think we could amplify our city by offering some kind of community theater.
So that's
just say yes, Steve. That's,
in terms of it was
a start.
In terms of indoor space, finding indoor space in this community is probably the hardest thing going.
Totally.
Now we do have plans to redo Fancyburg Park, and at Fancyburg, there is going to be a small space where you could do small scale outdoor theater. So,
I like it.
So there is something on the horizon.
Just say yes, Steve.
Okay.
Just grant this wish.
So I'm not going full Michael B. Coleman and saying, no, it's not going to happen. Because there
if it's
is...
not a no, it's a yes.
It's a yeah.
It's a version of it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
So that is something we thought, because it's something we've heard. And it did come up when we were building this building. It was one of the survey options, and it wasn't something that scored particularly high, but that was also, I think, I know we hadn't been in the high school yet. Folks hadn't seen how that was going to work from a practical standpoint.
Well, outdoor could also be the new home for music on the lawn. What's the thing that we do in the summer?
So we've got a summer music series. We move that around, and that's intense. So we do one up at the municipal building, one down at the Mallway.
There's one the Arts on Arlington. Labor Day Arts Festival's at Northam. Are you talking about movies at the park?
Well, that too. I just was thinking about there's so many uses for an outdoor amphitheater type thing.
So are you going to put on Hamilton when you start running this new community theater? Is that your first pick?
Yeah. We could do Hamilton.
I'm already
I
just
think we should
signed up.
do it.
Yeah, it's
Are you
happening.
going to be in it with me, Darren?
I don't think my acting
I'm not going to be in
skills-
it. You could be in it.
By the way, I did do musical theater in high school.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, Steve's in
This
it.
is a yes.
I would really love to just do a weird cameo where I walk in and die or something.
What
I don't
about
think I
King
can
George?
act.
King George is such a fun character.
I was in one play at a camp and I was the bad guy. I really like that.
I was the knife grinder in Oliver.
Does that have any
I've never
lines?
seen that.
Is there lines in that?
There were three. I had 3 lines of singing. That's it.
Oh,
Like you're sharpening a knife?
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
basically
have to-
not Oliver. So-
No.
I was Queen Aggravain
Oh.
in Once Upon a Mattress.
Yes.
Is there a
So
role for
Maggie
Basil Boyer?
Maggie can straight up sing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, look how many connections we can build by talking to people about this.
It's basically happening.
Yes.
Kind of done. Steve's committed resources.
No.
He did not say no.
He didn't say no.
I did
and
not
he already
say
told
no.
us that if
Say
he
no.
didn't say no.
I think it is a great thing for the community to organize.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, it's community theater, so it's not city theater.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
But Steve has committed to being in it.
Yeah.
I'm great with a cameo. I have a much better kind of radio DJ voice than the singing voice. So
Steve and I
can
should be
MC.
in a play like those 2 dudes from the Muppets who were up in the balcony. I don't know if there's a role like that in any plays that you can think of.
We can make it.
But that's already been taken. Our Maggie actually took care of designating that for our building inspectors.
It's fair.
We have a couple building inspectors who look like those, look a little bit like those 2 fine gentlemen.
Exactly like the guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And are they a little bit
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So.
Grumpy?
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually enjoy the designation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done. That's great.
So
You had a second one that you wanted
Yeah.
to? We've already granted your first wish.
This is so minor, and I don't even think you can probably do it. But this has been something that if I could actually change, I would have the leaf pickup much more transparent as to when they're.
Oh, they're
coming.
doing that.
so we're working on it.
Okay, good.
That's actually happening.
We're
See,
working
look
on it.
at that. Oh, I'm just gonna keep naming things.
Yeah, you're going to get whatever you want.
No,
Right.
no. This is something we've struggled with, and it's so fun. This year was so funny. Anybody who's still awake and listening to the podcast, you can now officially go to sleep because I'm going to talk about details of leaf collection. But we have changed the system this year so that rather than just constantly going around, we have guys making sure that we get out kind of every week and a half. We're hitting each neighborhood.
So you'll know
and
when
we're-
it's going to go to which place.
We're doing it
Awesome.
this year in the hopes that once we get the system worked out next year, we can do a better job of publicizing when the schedule is going to be.
Great.
So it'll happen this year, but you might not know what's going on. But next year,
That's
should
all
be
right.
But
legit.
the changing weather patterns is completely rocking our world as it relates to leaf, because our leaf trucks are the same trucks we use for snowplows. And so
And leaves are coming down super late.
Yeah.
And we all thought they were going to come down super early because it was so dry. We were getting calls in early October. My leaves are falling. I'm sitting here looking out the window on, what's today? November 7th. And the leaves still look almost at peak. And so we are going, it is a challenge to figure out, like, when do we pick up the leaves? Because it's probably, I mean, it's 3 or 4 weeks late in terms of where these would normally be.
Well, and there's snow forecasted for Monday.
I know.
I mean, it's probably like a little bit of snow, but I'd never made that connection about the same trucks. It makes perfect sense. It is really a logistical nightmare.
So we have 3 trucks that we have converted and ready to go for Monday.
Okay. Wow.
There's a lot of boring stuff.
Strange things that run around a city manager's brain.
There's a lot of boring things that go on running a city, but they're interesting in the city speak.
Well, I commend you guys for working towards more transparency.
What else you got? We're like,
those are the only 2 things I have.
Now, if we could combine musical theater like on the back of a leaf truck.
Too loud.
Oh, man, that's like Into the Heights type.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
Yeah.
This is the first podcast where we've been able to grant, in theory, grant both wishes. Well, we've never had 2 wishes before.
I always think about leaf pickup as more drama than musical theater.
Well done. Well done.
So, well, listen, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate everything you do in the community, and please give all your family, including your in-laws, who I miss sitting next to your dad next to John's dad at basketball games and getting to chat with him. So please give everybody
and since they got a shout out, they have to download the podcast too.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Thank you so much. I will say hello to everybody, and it's been my pleasure.
Thanks
for
a lot.
having me.
Okay. Have you done a podcast before?
Yes, one time.
One time. Okay. So you're
So we're either 1 or 2 on the most enjoyable podcast experience.
That's right. We are one of her top 2 podcast
I promise this will be one. The first one was about legal negotiations. So I'm confident you guys can top that.
Should be.
Got a double win here.
Yeah.